That's the thing.
Yeah.
We can still do it. He said he ain't gonna be here till 9.
Oh, thank God. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. Where is my other phone?
Come on. No. No. Ah, there we go. But luckily, I have a flower in me. So I can't. Fun. Oh my God. Jump. Come on, bro. There you go. Gotta get some food for me. It climbs on the background. Like, you see that kind of stuff?
They climb on the background?
Yeah, so they're basically like,
oh my
crazy good.
God.
Crazy good. I'm trying to figure out how to pick stuff up without.
They climb on the background and then come to the forefront.
Oh, wow. I could change hands. I just learned that. Huh? Yeah. Come here. There you go. Try. Gotta make sure I don't see a shadow. There's a shadow. I could be in trouble. Bro, come here. I'm full. Oh my God. Why? Come on. Come on. Don't go in there. I get your attention, buddy? Perfect. Oh, good God. Oh. Trying to lean away. Yeah, I want him to chase after me. Yes. Um, lost it.
What's the point of having a spear if you can't kill shit?
You can use. I just need more spears. So I didn't have enough.
Um,
I had one. It's just. You can buy passage. So good.
yeah, what do you do? You want to say anything?
Okay, I was waiting for you to tell me.
Oh, I can't tell you. You tell me. Let me see. Much like questions, but I'm just going to. I need to start off like that. Um, how would you introduce yourself? You wouldn't say your last name.
No.
You would say you're Chris Brown.
Yeah, Chris Jones. Go by that kid pounds.
Okay. Um. Okay. I think I got it. I wonder if that's gonna be picked up though. It's so interesting. It sounds like the door open for this house.
He probably will be picked up, honestly.
You think so?
Yeah.
You know, it's okay.
Well, this whole door needs thing.
Outside, bro. Outside is that everything that I be doing with her. Um. Yeah. Alright. I'm probably gonna start off like that. I'm on here right now, so I'm just gonna have to do the other part at home since today is Wednesday. So I do have. Um. Alright. May allow grace and ease to flow. May honesty be spoken with truth, vulnerability, and understanding. So shall be daily and abundantly. Gosh. And that's why I wanted to introduce divine multidimensional being as well. By the name of Chris Downs. I've got to know this guy just throughout just our creation of our reality, creating of music, creation of a game that he is cultivating. And I would love for him to speak more about that as well. And safe spaces that he also cultivated. Phenomenal Space has been a great space. We like to call it a nerdy gaming space. But ultimately, it's just a space where everyone is able to be themselves, where they're able to, show up as themselves. If you want to have cosplay, or if you want to, just dance, or if you just want to, be invested in the culture of gaming, being able to, just have fun and let your inner child just be expressive. So ultimately, I think that these are all attributes of like how we always talk about being ourselves and accepting who we're becoming. So I would love to introduce Chris Bounds to the show. It's also known as That Kid Pounds.
Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. What's good, yo?
Hey guys, I definitely wanted to jump right in and say that the things that you've been creating are very special, and I always wanted to how you've been able to method things and something that I think I wanted to really ask you is how can gaming be a form of meditation or a form of self-reflection?
Well, I think gaming is one of the best things in the world for allowing a human being to enter into a state of flow seamlessly. And allowing themselves to be entranced, but an entrance in an interactive experience that they are also co-creating simultaneously because they are the player. So that's that's how I like on the simplest level would describe it. But it also could be any type of thing on how people feel about it. It could be just the fact they have free time to do it, just the fact that they get to do it with friends, or just something to do when they're alone, like to expand their well being based on where they are currently.
Mm, I like that. And it also reminds me of like games can be a great way to like alchemize energy too. And it just reminds me of like that time where we was just frustrated, man. We was just sitting there at the airport like, dang, we really missed this flight.
Mm-hmm.
Like we really missed this flight to go on back to Philly from Vegas. It's like, oh man. And thank God, like you just had the game just had to go. It's just like, yo, you know what? Let's play Melty Blood. Let's alchemize this energy right now. And I started to realize in that moment, it's like we were just so angry at just our unfavorable situation, but then once after, playing a couple games, we was just like, oh, I feel like I really fought. Like I really feel like I really let out some energy that, needed to help me, bring more grounding and a sense of peace. So yeah, you really kind of like brought that to the forefront with that game. It's really fun.
Yeah, it is a great game, and it's a great game for that particularly because fighting games in particular really do help you. It's a very intimate experience when you think about it because it's like you're learning someone from a instinctual level
Hmm.
and their patterns and how they like to play, and then you're working around that in your own way, and they're adapting to you while you're adapting to them in real time. It's it's very intimate.
Yo, for real. No, especially, shout out to Melty Blood. I'm like, that joint is popping. And it's like, also, it's like, we're in a new culture of like, the video games, but then there's also like physical games as well. So it's like, even though a video game can be partially physical, where it's something that, we're, invested in, or we're playing on a control, it's like, there's also card games and like board games and stuff that's really like more interpersonal and stuff like that. Um, I wanted to ask you like, how does the act of like playing cards, with its elements of chance and strategy, reflect for you and your human experience? Because I know you are cultivating, a card game of your own. So how could that experience like really help you, or how have that incorporated anything towards your chance and strategy of life?
I would say just from the process of that and the process of cards is just that a lot. My experience, I feel like it's a very relatively well known gaming medium that like it's more accessible in that way because people understand kind of how cards work. Now, the cards being used might be different based on what they're being used for, what game they're being used for, but people basically do have the grasp of like, okay, this is a card, and I use this card in this game. It's a very different experience than like playing with like a video game where they might be playing something that they have never encountered before in their life. Like, yeah, they might have seen a controller, yeah, they might have pressed some keys, but like you're giving them and showing them mechanics that they've never even thought of. So now, from the subconscious level, they're also having to get used to that. Versus if you're showing them a new card game, they at least understand the base level of cards.
Mm.
So then they have to register the rest of it, which is in that regard. So, but when it comes to using and creating cards, they feel good for players. They're very like malleable in a way. I see people when they play with the cards, they move cards around. The tactileness actually adds a lot, and they're very easy to transport as well. So I think that's why they're such a popular medium, just on the nature of them.
And what is your game about? Like, because it's like people want to be able to like sit down. Like I've seen like, people really enjoy themselves playing the game and just having laughter and enjoying themselves. But I know it's a multiplayer game as well, just as much as like a matching game. So it's like how have that game developed for you, and what is it about, or for those who don't know?
And so a Duco is a matching multiplayer card fighting game where you match gems and colors to defeat your opponent. Um, I wanted to capture the energy of lunacy, which is a great like family game
Mm.
or group game really, and you sit down and you have to match patterns as quickly as you can. I actually have it here. We should play it later. But
For real.
um, but that game was really fun. But I noticed that when you only had two people, it wasn't fun. It was more fun the more people you had. And I was like, okay, can I make a version of this, but that could be played by two people? So I came up with this fighting game aspect. And as I was working on the aspect of the fighting game, I realized that this game could be played with a bigger group. And that's when the majority of the foundation of the game really came into play because I realized that the lunacy of matching cards in the context of like how lunacy does it
Mm-hmm.
really applies well in the context of matching gems and colors in the context of a fighting game and allowing people to feel like they're stringing together moves and combos versus if they were using a joystick or controller there's all these different movements that you need to memorize and so
Mm-hmm.
forth versus when you're just matching colors and gems it's just seamless and it's more of an easy concept to grasp. And in addition to that, the multiplayer aspect of it allows people who aren't good at fighting games to feel like to not to have to feel like they're the only person um, on the bill. They know that there's someone else that's going to be helping them in this experience, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not solely everything is on their shoulders. So if they're just bad, they're like, oh, I'm never going to get good. It's like, no, I can get good because I have a friend with me who's helping me, and I'm also getting a chance to learn the rules. And that's I think one of the best things that you can one of the best experiences I've had. Don't get me wrong though, the one on ones, it's I do my best to embody Super Smash Brothers, but in a card game. So that's the sex majority of it.
So where did the passion come from when it, like being invested in gaming, like the fact that like you wanted to create a game, you create a safe space called Two Namaste as well, where everyone can get together and play games together. It's like, where did this passion and love for gaming come from for you?
So the passion and love for gaming comes from just I want to have fun. It's nothing more than that. I just look and I find games that make me feel that feeling. And that feeling to me is the entrancement into what I'm doing in the state of oneness, the experience I'm having. I've been playing games since I was a kid. My older brother had a console, and some of my earliest games are Nintendo 64, Super Smash, Crash Bandicoot. Um,
Oh, that's a throwback.
yeah,
Ah.
yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Star Fox and stuff like that. Halo when we got our Xbox.
Mm,
Early GTA's and Midnight Clubs and other racing games.
mm,
But I mainly played FPS's the majority of my life. There's a lot of Apex, Rainbow Six Siege, Call of Duty, Halo, as I mentioned before, and Gears of War.
mm,
But I have always been fascinated with the concept of fighting games because I also watch a lot of anime, and like I think the the choreography of the scenes are very beautiful. It's almost like dancing, but it's not.
mm. Yo, yeah, don't get me started with Dance Dance Revolution. I would tear you up in that joint.
That is a great game.
That's a good joke. No, I definitely love that. Yeah, I really wanted to ask you that because ultimately, like, I just feel like fun is a reminder of the inner child wanting to be able to express themselves or really be able to enjoy time together. And one thing that I really like love about you or respect about you is that you really make sure that you're seeing everyone have fun. Like you really want to make sure, like, do you have fun? Did you enjoy yourself? Just really making sure that everyone is, invested in the experience that they're able to get, just experiencing more happiness more than what they had before they came to a place. And I think that's important when it comes to making safe spaces as well, especially if like it's a gaming experience.
Hmm.
So it's like everyone has to be present to be able to play the game and enjoy their time. So yeah, I really wanted to highlight that. And was there anything like new or anything on your heart that you feel called to share or something that you feel like will be able to enlighten those who are listening right now or something that they may be looking to receive out of this experience?
Trust yourself.
Mm.
Well, I do listen to the feedback of other people when it comes to creation, and I don't do that when I make music. And I that's like for music, that's like I don't really care to hear others' opinions unless they're making it with me. Like I don't want to hear that mainly because that sounded that way because it came out of me that way. So like for me to not honor that is unfaithful to myself. Well, with gaming, I had to learn that if this is meant to be played by more than just me, I need to also take those people's opinions into consideration, but also still serving me at the same time. So it's a balancing act. So I really had to trust myself. I had to trust myself that I like this, and that I also like the version of this that I know other people like.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
So it really is a state of co-creating because like I can make the game, but I've never been able to play the game by myself. Until it's a video game, I can't play by myself. I've always needed to have someone else to play with me. So it's always been the bouncing of me really looking into their eyes and seeing if their pupils are dilated and seeing like from their minute body movements, like are you actually engaged? And what are the parts of this that make you engaged? Like, that's a lot of fun for me. That's honestly where a lot of the mechanics of my game really came from. Was seeing what made people like smile or stand up or
Mm.
just express themselves.
Mm-hmm. And then you're like, I need more of that.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you get more of that in there?
Mm-hmm.
And then being open to other people's like feedback too. That's really cool too. And then it's the fact that you found the balance within like receiving that, opening it up, and then like not taking it personally because it's like that's the whole point. It's like that's like when you play Uno. And just before you get to playing, it's like, all right, now we did the shuffling, we dealt out the cards. Hold on now, before we throw out any card, what are the rules of the game? Because everybody got different rules. So it's like before we get to a fight, and then somebody do something, you're like, wait a minute, you ain't say that was the rule before. So it's like let's get on the same page. And I think the fact that you open that up to just receive, and then you actually like invest it in the next time you're gonna play again, like that says a lot about the growth and the fact that you are intentional about your gameplay.
Oh yeah, I take it serious.
I can tell. I can tell. I always can tell. And then one of the last questions that I had on my heart that I wanted to ask you was ultimately like, how can like playing like the game that you're cultivating like really foster like a sense of community for people who are looking forward to either not only being a part of like playing your game, but also someone that might be looking forward to creating games of themselves or creating anything for that matter.
You said foster community.
Mm-hmm. Foster a sense of community.
Being present.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way. Because if you're not present, you're not gonna be able to connect. It's hard to play a game while you're also texting at the same time. It's also hard to talk to somebody while you're texting somebody else at the same time. They're all it all requires presentness.
Mm-hmm.
And a good game, that's what a good game does. A good game makes everyone who plays it present. They're in the moment. They're in the flow. They've connected through. That's what I mentioned prior. So for anyone making games, that would be one of the main things I would say. Like, which aspects of it allow you to feel present and just trusting your feelings, because that's the most important thing. As well as the most important thing for a lot of other things. But you know one way, you know a thousand ways.
Mm. Dang, that was a good question. It's like, so like, what are the ways that you can bring more presence within your life? That's a good question to leave with them.
Yeah, that is a great question.
Because I feel like at this moment, I'm starting to like reflect deeply on what's allowing me to like slow down, um, receive, still being like reflections of stillness, and ultimately like introspection. And I think like all of these experiences, like even with like being with you and having this like great time that we've been having, like I think I've been very like introspective of like the energy that we put out, how reciprocated we are, how intentional we are with our time and energy, and what we're creating. Like, and I think honestly the fun that you cultivate within not only creating your own game, but the fact that you translate that and any game for that matter. It's like, it's like enjoying the time that we're sharing with one another. And that's why I ask, like, fostering a sense of community, because, like, being present in each other's lives is what really can foster a sense of community. And I think that having that medium where it's like the game is the conduit where everyone just like comes in from wherever they are, all different walks of life, and they essentially agree that we're gonna walk this walk together. We're gonna enjoy ourselves while we're going through it. And I think you really bring that into purpose with just what gaming means to you and how you've been able to share it. So I really appreciate you for just being here.
Well, I'm grateful to hear you say that, and I'm grateful that you are here as well.
Do you have any other messages you wanted to share with people? This is a grand rising. This is early in the rising. Everybody just getting up. They still getting themselves together. It's a Monday rising. They trying to get their week together. You got anything you want to say? We just getting into
The only thing I'll say
morning here.
is a couple of words for y'all, which is I am myself. I know myself. I am a voice for myself. I love myself. I trust myself. I am free with and around myself. And I am grounded within myself.
Message. Wow. Okay. Well, y'all heard it here, folks. You heard it here live. We gonna hit it again because we got the affirmation. He said, "I know myself and I trust myself. I love myself." And the energy that we are allowing to speak through ourselves, may we affirm greatness. May we allow ease and bliss to be in our current reality. May we affirm grounding to be able to affirm who we truly are. May we continue to grow and who we're becoming. And we'll see you next Monday, rising 10:30 a.m. on the terminal. Hallelujah. That was amazing.